What's going on, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to another Knicks post-game show here on the Knicks Nation channel. Appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight after a big New York Knicks victory against the Philadelphia 76ers, our first in-season tournament game. This game was, part of the in-season tournament game, NBA Cup, and the New York Knicks come out, from start to finish, really took control of this game in the fourth quarter and beat the Philadelphia 76ers 111-79 in Joel Embiid's return, in the Flopper's return to his home crowd. Yes, the Flopper Joel Embiid, who flopped like 10 times tonight. The New York Knicks pull it together. Josh Hart triple-double. OG Anunoby, an incredible game offensively and defensively for Anunoby. Jalen Brunson twisted his ankle there, got it going in the second half. Karl-Anthony Towns with the crazy passes tonight, man. Cat can dish that thing. He can pass the rock, and he was on full display tonight with some amazing passes from Karl-Anthony Towns. OG Anunoby, man. Wow. What did he have, like 6 or 7 dunks tonight for OG Anunoby? He was just dominating the Philadelphia 76ers tonight. I mean, his defense, tonight was amazing as well. And, offensively, OG Anunoby he's gotten it going here. He's been quietly one of the Knicks' best players. And, that's why we give him the big bucks to give us performances like tonight. I think he had like 6 or 7 dunks. But, yeah, OG Anunoby, great game. Appreciate every single one of you in here. We needed this game, guys. We needed this game, man. 5-5 feels a lot better than 4-6 heading to Madison Square Garden on a homestand. 5-5 feels good. That 10-game stretch, I said, get to 5-5, and you can start feeling good about yourself heading to Madison Square Garden with some winnable games. These teams play tough, but boy, you needed this game. You spoiled Joel Embiid's return, and amazing A-plus performance from the New York Knicks. Appreciate every single one of you in here. Daniel, what's going on? Chris, yeah, well, I mean, the big task. Not going to lie, Brunson is starting to worry me, big task. Huh? No worries tonight, man. Coach Sierre, salute to you as well. Cat was in his passing bad. Look, Karl-Anthony Towns tonight was in his bag in terms of passing the rock. This is now, what is it now? 8 or 9 out of the first 10 games for the New York Knicks, their starters have scored in double digits. Anunoby 24 and 6. Bridges, I thought Mikal Bridges looked good tonight. I thought he looked better. His aggression, obviously, you want to see him be more engaged defensively. I thought he had a nice block on Paul George in the first half. I thought Bridges and Deuce McBride played well together in that first half, and we'll get to the bench as well because Tom Thibodeau finally expanded his rotation, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I know the New York Knicks are on a back-to-back. We play against the Chicago Bulls tomorrow, I believe. We're on a back-to-back, but did Tom Thibodeau hear the noise? Did he hear us say you cannot continue with this 7-man rotation? And here comes Matt Ryan in. Now, he didn't hit a shot. He took a charge. He had some good looks. But still, right? I mean, he's open shooter. He's a great three-point shooter. Sign me up. I don't even care that Matt Ryan didn't hit a shot. It's just, you saw, I mean, the impact in the fourth, everyone was like, playing good, feeling good, and they didn't have tired legs. Now tonight, first game of the back-to-back, so we'll see what happened, the return of campaign. Jericho Sims gave us some minutes off the bench, and he had a big block in the first half. He had a good offensive rebound possession. Those are 10 great minutes from Jericho Sims. 10 great minutes from Jericho Sims. Look, when Sims is going to play well, I'm going to give him his shine. So your bench tonight played much better. Deuce McBride, I thought, looked amazing. 3 of 8 from 3, 15 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, had some great defensive possession, even took a charge there in the fourth quarter. Deuce looked great, but Tom Thibodeau expanding his rotations, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give Tom Thibodeau a round of applause for that. Good job, Tibbs. We knew you had it in you. We knew you had it in you, and you did it. Hit some of these comments, man, in the chat, man. Appreciate every single one of you in here. OG and Deuce had a great game. Yeah, they did. And, when Brunson went out with his injury scare, I thought the Knicks actually played well. OG, Deuce, and Mikal really were feeding off of one another when Brunson went out. Cat was doing his thing as well, but the Knicks didn't miss a beat when Brunson got taped up back in the locker room. And on a night where your star point guard didn't have it offensively, 5 assists, 18 points, got to the free throw line 8 times. Offensively, he just didn't have it tonight. But, Towns did his thing. Anunoby did his thing. And I haven't even mentioned Josh Hart, Mr. Triple-Double himself, Josh Hart. Josh Hart is having a career year, ladies and gentlemen. His career year continues. But I feel messed up not mentioning Josh Hart until now. 14 points, 10 assists, 12 boards for Josh Hart. And what a 180 from this guy from preseason until now, who was looking absolutely lost. And during his first starts of the season, he's looked amazing. Career year he's having. And triple-double Josh Hart, one out of many that we're going to see this season. And the Knicks were just clicking. Look, a lot of stuff to clean up tonight, too. Turnovers tonight were a problem. Maybe scratch my head a lot, but it's the NBA. You overcome it, and as long as you come out with a victory and you send the Philadelphia 76ers home with a loss, they are now 2-8 on the season. 2-8 on the season. And you're 5-5 heading into Madison Square Garden feeling good about yourself. 2-0 with the GOAT, Matt Ryan, on the floor. Let's go. Let's go. Talk to him. I don't see why Ryan plays over Pac-Man. The Knicks kind of, the reason why I think that Thibs went to Ryan tonight was Shamet was going to be in the rotation, and Matt Ryan can kind of replicate Landry Shamet, coming off the curls, coming off, quick screen stuff, quick release stuff, catch and shoot threes. And Matt Ryan can replicate that, and he's a great three-point shooter. And, hey, I mean, this is a step in the right direction, whether you don't like Matt Ryan or not. Like, the 7-man rotation could not continue, and we'll see what he goes with tomorrow versus in a back-to-back. But I thought the Knicks really didn't lose a beat when Ryan came in here and campaign. Campaign. I mean, coming off that hamstring injury, only played 9 minutes, only hit 1 shot, and that was a 3. But Sims really started it with some good possessions in that first half, and that can build his confidence, and hopefully he can build off of that because the Knicks desperately need that. And Towns was in foul trouble. A lot of ticky-tack stuff tonight, right? Philly shot 17 free throws in the first half compared to the Knicks only shooting, 3 free throws in the first half or something like that. Ticky-tack stuff tonight. But we saw a different Tom Thibodeau tonight. That's for sure. Wild boy Trey. OG is worth every penny. OG Anunoby is our Scottie Pippen. He was all over the basketball court tonight. Duncan had that fast break dunk that gave me flashbacks to the playoffs where he dunked on Joel Embiid. I think he dunked on Lowry there. That's what you want to see out of OG Anunoby, and he is, like I've been saying, quietly, he has been dominant over these, I think it's 5 games. Let me bring up his game log, but he's been dominant. Yeah, let's bring up OG Anunoby's game log because he's been absolutely incredible for this team. And, it took him quite some time to get it going offensively, but if you look at his game log now, ever since the Detroit game, he's really been clicking. Back-to-back games with over 24 points at Indiana, 25 points. He was amazing in that game. Milwaukee, he was doing his thing, even though his 3 wasn't falling. This season, he's been amazing from three, and that's OG Anunoby. He was a dog tonight, man. I mean, six dunks tonight. Just a lot of cutting, which you like to see from OG Anunoby tonight. A lot of cutting from him, and the Knicks were finding him. Credit to the Knicks for finding him. So, hey ho hey, let's go, baby. Coach says, I think Josh was faking in preseason. Josh Hart is one of those guys that I would not put that past about him, like faking his role and faking being lost, and then all of a sudden coming out in the regular season is just absolutely balling. Karl Anthony Towns is the best big man in the East. Josh Hart for All-Star this year. Hey, man, he's playing amazing. Josh Hart, and I love the way the Knicks used him tonight, because using him in more pick and rolls and him kind of cutting to the basket and kind of having the ball at the free throw line, that can create more three-pointers for this Knicks team. And he obviously is a distributor. He knows where guys are on the court at all times. He's a super, super smart basketball player. And I feel like if the Knicks kind of used him more, it can generate a lot more threes tonight. And we saw that tonight from Josh Hart, and it just showed up in his box score. I mean, triple dubs for Josh Hart. Thibs played more guys tonight. Let's get another round of applause for Tom Thibodeau for playing more guys tonight. Look, when Matt Ryan came into the game, I was shocked. I was appalled. Like, I was like, what? Is Tom Thibodeau okay? I don't know if he got some type of like call from the front office, like, Thibs, come on. It's November 12th. Give Matt Ryan some time in there. I don't know if he got some type of call, or I don't know if it's just simply due to the fact that the Knicks play again tomorrow. Either way, I don't care. Step in the right direction for Tom Thibodeau, and that's all we can, be happy about. Because if you look at these minutes, only one player played over 40 minutes, and that player was OG Anunoby. Bridges, 35 minutes. Speaking of Mikal Bridges, he was the first, tonight was the first time Mikal Bridges got subbed out in the first quarter. Every single game, Mikal Bridges plays the entire first quarter and gets subbed out midway through the second quarter. Tonight, Thibs kind of changed it up a little bit. Mikal got subbed out in the first. Incoming Matt Ryan. Maybe, those tired legs were catching up to Mikal. I don't know. But Thibs kind of changed it up a little bit, his substitution pattern tonight. And look, it's only game 10. So that's all you want to see is little improvement like that. But first time that Mikal Bridges did not play the entire first quarter of this season. And that was tonight. And credit to the coach, man. Credit to Thibs for changing up his substitution patterns. And it worked. Bridges, I thought, he's such like a mid-range assassin, man. A lot of those mid-range jumpers were like in and out tonight too. He could have even had more. I thought he got fouled a couple of times. But Bridges, 2 steals, 1 block, 3 assists. These are the numbers that you love to see from Mikal. 1 block, 2 steals, 3 assists. Defensively, he's been statistically one of the worst in the NBA. And tonight, I thought he was way more engaged, looked great, looked, happy. He looked good. And that's all you want from Mikal. He can build off of this. 14 points. I don't care about. Knicks won the game, and he was impacting the game defensively. Like I said, using that long wingspan, got Paul George. And 5-5, ladies and gentlemen. I love what I'm seeing. I love what I saw tonight. Thibs acting brand new. Tom Thibodeau acting brand new. Bobby says, beautiful fourth quarter. Bobby, man, beautiful. 33 points in the fourth from the Knicks. And I was nervous coming into that fourth quarter because all game, the Knicks were kind of letting the 76ers hang around a little bit. A lot of turnovers tonight for this Knicks team, and Philly is one of the best in the terms of like generating turnovers in the NBA. 15 turnovers. Knicks cleaned it up there in that fourth quarter, but I was nervous coming into that fourth quarter. And then this Knicks team hit a switch, didn't want to lose this game. And the win differential matters in these cup games, by the way. So Knicks, they win by 12, right? So they win by 12. You get another win. You're 5-5 heading back home to Madison Square Garden on a fairly, I'm not gonna say easy, but you can win all these games at home. You can win all these games. I'm not expecting it. I'm just saying, coming into the season, we were like, okay, these first 10 games right here, they're tough, right? We said, look, this is a tough stretch. No Precious, no campaign for majority of this. You're 5-5, and now you have a nice 4-game homestand where, let's say you win all 4, you're 9-5 heading to the West Coast. I'm not saying that it's doable, right? And tonight was so important. 5-5 feels way better than 4-6, and just heck of a job from this Knicks team. Just engaged, locked in from start to finish, and that's what you love to see. Tony says they didn't have Maxey. I'm not impressed with the win. I don't like our chance versus the Bulls. Tony, come on with that negativity in here, man. I don't care if they didn't have Maxey. Last year, we didn't have, I don't care. It's the NBA. Guys get hurt. We were dealing with a lot of injuries last season, and there was no excuses made. They didn't have Maxey. We don't have Precious, and I don't care. It's the NBA. So, I mean, a win is a win. A win is a win. And that's no negativity tonight in here, Tony. Tonight was a great win for this squad. Have them feeling good about themselves going into Madison Square Garden. And we just have to build the momentum, and we just have to go from there. Woody, JB rolled his ankle, and it didn't look good, but he came back in the game. Jared McCain, I'm impressed with. Wild boy. Jared McCain is good. He's going to be a good player in this league. And he's good. He's good. Heck of a win from this squad, man. And OG Anunoby, can't say, I mean, the Miles McBride too. Miles McBride in that second quarter had 9 second quarter points. And this is your typical Deuce game, right? I mean, you even heard the Deuce chants in Philly. McBride looked amazing tonight. And, off that bench, you were kind of searching for things. McBride has kind of been dealing with a lot of these injuries, the knee soreness, the knee inflammation. He was sick. So McBride with 9 second quarter points, I thought the Knicks, to close the first half, I thought they could have done a better job. And then Hart hit that buzzer beater to kind of settle things down. But I like it, man. I like it, man. And what do you guys think about Embiid and flopping, man? I hate it, man. I mean, Embiid is such a flopper, man. I hate the way this guy plays basketball, man. Just watching him play basketball. I'll go through some tape in a bit, but just watching him just pisses me off so much. OG and All-Star this year. Hey, I challenged him. That was kind of like my bold prediction coming into the season for OG Anunoby was to be an All-Star. And, guys, he's playing like an all-star. He was giving Paul George problems. I know Paul George had, of course he had his best game versus us. But Knicks had Mikal on Paul George, and then they switched and put OG Anunoby on Paul George. And I thought, Anunoby, 1 steal, plus 18, 2 assists, 6 rebounds for OG Anunoby. Just an incredible player. Incredible player. He owns Philly. Owns them. And I love it. Spoil the return of Joel Embiid. 2-8, the Philadelphia 76ers are. And you're 5-5 with some winnable games. But the thing about Towns, guys, let me go through some of these passes for Karl-Anthony Towns. Incredible. Yeah, Karl-Anthony Towns. Just look at this pass to Mikal Bridges right here. Peeps him. No look pass. He knows he's open. Whoop. Gotcha. And then this pass to Josh Hart right here for the 3 was absolutely filthy from Karl-Anthony Towns. Down low. Defenders draped all over this guy. And he finds a Josh Hart and gives him one of those rifle passes. And amazing. Amazing, man. Cat and his passing tonight was absolutely incredible. Anunoby and his dunks were absolutely amazing tonight. And yeah, guys, this was a win that this New York Knicks team had to have. Had to have. Smart kid. I would like to see players get some rest in the fourth, maybe just a minute if we up 10 points or more. Look, tonight is not the night for that. I thought Tom Thibodeau evolved. He changed his way. I was preaching it. Even last game versus Indiana, I called it unacceptable playing Tyler Kolek 2 minutes. But tonight, Thibs, I thought, coached a good game, changed his substitution patterns, put in Matt Ryan, even though Matt Ryan didn't give us anything. But still, it's just that body out there giving these guys an extra blow. So when the fourth quarter hits, hey now, you score 33 points and you only allow 24 points from the Philadelphia 76ers in the fourth quarter. You don't think fresh legs kind of has something to do with that? It does. Bridges 35 minutes. Towns 38. It does. So, credit to Thibs, man. Credit to Thibs for that. For sure, man. Cat making his case as the best center in the league. Yeah, look, the thing about Cat, right? I know that wonky stat that he's been allowing, 91% in the restricted area this year. I thought he did an okay job in Embiid. He got into foul trouble tonight a lot. Trying to guard Embiid, but most of those calls were kind of like bogus calls. I thought the refs kind of. How about there was a goaltending? It was a non-goaltending call in the first half too on Cat that should have been called. First of all, if you're going to review, speaking of that goaltending call that wasn't called on Embiid, I think it was Embiid that blocked Cat. Remember it was the Pacers game? They reviewed an Anunoby 3 at the timeout and they took it away. Why can't you review a goaltending call at the TV break and say, oh, okay, we messed that up. That was a goaltending. Give the Knicks 2 points. Why can't you do that? If you could take away a 3 because he stepped out of bounds, why can't you give the team a basket because you missed a goaltending call? But that's neither here or there. Town should have had 23 points tonight and 13 rebounds. The rebounding continues with Karl-Anthony Towns, by the way. 6 assists from your big man. He's doing it all out there for this Knicks team. That's why I wasn't really worried about, his restricted area statistics. I wasn't really concerned about that. It's a concern, but he's just doing so much for this Knicks team. So much. And it came out with a win. Joel says if the Knicks win the NBA Cup or if they get close, you got to make a highlight tape of the Knicks during the NBA Cup tournament. Joel, yes, I will do that. I know baby steps, but still what I want going forward. Look, man, you take it. Anytime Tom Thibodeau plays 9 men, you kind of are like, holy crap, Tom Thibodeau. I don't know who called him. I don't know who sent that call, but he got the memo, and credit to Thibs. Dame 2, what's going on, Dame? Appreciate you in here. Finally a Knicks win. What's going on, Dame, man? Appreciate you in here, man. Just chopping it up after another Knicks win. Obviously, the last game was a loss, but look, I came into tonight thinking tonight was so important for this team. Get to 5-5, feel good about yourself, play well versus Philly, national televised game, NBA Cup, in-season tournament. I know that really some people don't really care about that. But, get to 5-5, go home now. You're going home to 5 or 4 winnable games in Madison Square Garden. And I know the back-to-back versus Brooklyn. Brooklyn's playing extremely well. They play hard, that team. Versus Chicago tomorrow. Now, Brooklyn, back-to-back, and then versus the Wizards. The Knicks can easily go 4-0 in this homestand. 4-0. At worst, 3-1. Honestly, anything other than that, I think I wouldn't accept that. To be honest with you, 4-0, 3-1 on this homestand, please. Then you kind of build momentum heading back on the road at on a West Coast trip at Phoenix, at Utah, at Denver, at Dallas, at Charlotte. Take care of these wins at home, and then you can kind of gain a rhythm, get Precious back, Campaign still coming back from the hamstring injury. But that's why tonight's game, 5-5, feels so much better than 4-6 heading back home to Madison Square Garden. Back-to-backs are tough, though. Second night of a back-to-back, it's not going to be, an easy one. Those are always tough, but it's not. The thing about that is you're not really traveling that far, right? Philly is you just take the train back up to NYC and you're good. They'll be home in a couple hours, right? They'll be home like at 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. or something like that. So not really traveling. So it's a back-to-back, but, feel good about yourself. And tonight was a big step in the right directions for this club because let's face it, that Indiana game, there was a lot of questions coming out that game. And, the Knicks just had to win tonight, I thought. And good win. Benny says Embiid back to his antics again. Joel Embiid, man. There was a flop that Embiid pulled. Let me pull up the video for you guys. This was in the third quarter. The Embiid flop. Ran into Deuce McBride and all of a sudden just fell backwards. Joel Embiid. He's a flopper, man. I think in the first half he had 8 points and 8 of his points were free throws. So, hey, they're reeling. They're 2-8. They still got stuff to figure out. I'm just happy we went into Philly and got it done. But watching Joel Embiid play is honestly, I can't do it. The flopping is unbearable, and it's terrible. Honestly, it's terrible. It's terrible. Eric, Tony says Towns should have had 35 tonight. Look, the thing about that, like he should have, but how many field goal attempts? Because I thought he should have got. I thought Towns played a great game. I thought the balance tonight was incredible, all around. Going at the chemistry, you can start to see is their Knicks are getting there. The Knicks are getting there in terms of like the chemistry, and all 5 starters besides Mikal. I mean, so you Anunoby, Towns, Brunson, and Hart, they were clicking, but it was just Mikal being that kind of odd man out. And tonight I thought was a big step in the right direction for Mikal. Defensively, especially, looked more engaged. His offense is not a concern for me because he's such a great mid-range shooter and he's a great corner 3-point shooter. I think other than the corner threes, his shot will come, but it's confidence with him. And tonight I thought way more engaged defensively, and it's such a great game from Mikal, and it's a step in the right direction. And we talked about Jericho. I've been ragging on Jericho, but you got to give him his props tonight because I thought that in that first half, he had a sequence there, offensive rebound, huge block. Looked good, man. And, this is, why the Knicks, stuck with him, right? They want to kind of have him go through these things. And, I still would like to see some Huck Porty, but when Precious comes back, I don't think we're going to see that much of Jericho. But I thought Jericho played good tonight. Everyone, man. I think everyone contributed tonight. Huge team effort tonight for this win. Huge. Tony, do you think JB is trying to do too much individually instead of playing as a team and trust his teammates, especially if his shot is not falling? That thought did come up in my head in the fourth quarter. Brunson, 5 of 15 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3. He didn't start this game really well, but the assists were there. 6 turnovers tonight for Jalen Brunson. That's, I'm sure he's going to look at that and not like that. But that is an adjustment where I think, because Brunson is a score-first player, right? He wants to put the ball in the basket, and he is damn good at it, right? So it's still going to be an adjustment for him. Like, if he's going to be open, he's going to shoot in. Normal shots that he makes right now, like kind of around the paint, are just not going in. And that with time, that'll come. But the assists have been up. Look, he had 5 assists in tonight's first half. Didn't have an assist in the second half, but the assists have been up. I think he has 36 or 37 assists in the last 5 games. So Brunson is distributing, but yeah, there's times where I'm like, okay, the offense can kind of run through Bridges more. The offense can kind of run through Anunoby more, Towns more. There's times where I feel like that. And over time, that will come. I think we saw some of that when Brunson came out of the game and got his ankle taped up. We saw some of that with Bridges, Deuce McBride, and OG Anunoby. You saw the offense and Josh Hart. The offense was kind of running through Bridges and Deuce a little bit, and it looked good in that stretch. Deuce was a point guard. Bridges, that's where Bridges really took control and looked good offensively. So when Brunson's not going to be on the floor, you're going to need Bridges to score. And when Bridges and Brunson are on the floor, you see that Bridges and Brunson are still trying to figure it out. But it'll come. It'll come. Kenneth, what's going on, man? Just chopping it up. If you guys haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button for a big Knicks victory on the road to 5K subscribers. Almost there. Appreciate every single one of you joining me for another Knicks Nation post game. Big Knicks win. Hop in the chat. Ask away. What do you guys think of tonight? Tonight was such a big win for this team. Huge confidence booster for everybody. But steps in the right direction. All you want to do is build off of these wins. And it's a big game, man. Down in Philly, right? Joel Embiid's coming back. I know he didn't play the end of the fourth quarter, but that's not our concern. Our concern was to get right as a team and worry about us. And that's what the Knicks team did. They from start to finish, really, Philly they took the lead, but the Knicks answered the bell, and that's what you want to see, right? They didn't lay down and they bounced back. Woody says Mikal played good when JB is not on the court. I do realize that, Woody, and that's why this Knicks, that's why Tom Thibodeau tries to get Mikal in there without JB. That's why he has been playing him without. He's been playing him the entire first quarter into the second quarter when Brunson is on the bench starting the second quarter. But tonight we saw a different substitution pattern that I'm interested to see if it stays the same versus the Bulls, but we shall see. But yeah, I mean, look, that's chemistry. That's these guys. Brunson and Bridges played together in college, right? I mean, but you implement it, not just Brunson and Bridges. Anunoby wants to get involved. The Cat wants to get involved. So that to me is going to take time. But in the midst of this, you're still having great performances from everybody in the midst of that, and that's all you can ask for. Mike, what's going on in the chat? Appreciate you in here. Good solid win tonight. Great all-around game from everyone. Would you ever imagine if we see OG versus Paul George? And it was fun to watch. Bridges needs to spam that midi jumper, and we good. I agree, Mike, that the Mikal Bridges mid-range jump shot is elite. And tonight he missed a couple of shots, went in and out, and I was like, oof. But the fadeaway mid-range jump shot, that's such his bread and butter. And he was 7 of 13 from tonight, and I thought he looked good. He looked great. And these are the kind of the games where you want to build off of, because Mikal is a huge part. We're gonna need his offensive punch, but if Anunoby's playing like this, it's oof. I mean, Anunoby, man. I mean, guys. I mean, he's the full package. OG Anunoby is the full package, man. Such a great player. Like I probably said that like 100 times about OG Anunoby, but he is just such a great player. Like his mid-range, his threes now are starting to fall. I think he's shooting like 44% from three this year. Though he rebounded the ball tonight pretty well. That's coming into the tonight. Kind of wanted to see the rebounding go up. Steal, one steal, one block, plus 18. Great defense. Full package, man. Great player. Great player. And as we all know, newsflash, OG Anunoby's a great player. But Every time he has performances like tonight, man, that's why this Knicks front office felt so comfortable paying him all that money, because he just impacts the game. He's a winning basketball player. OG Anunoby is a winning basketball player. And it's good that we have him for the next few years here. Just love the guy, man. Bridges is a mid-range demon. Yeah, man. Got to get those Bridges mid-range jump shots. So, like, think about Bridges. He missed 2 threes tonight, and I think both of those threes were, makeable. And that obviously that'll come. OG is our anchor. I think OG's offense is a bonus. The thing about OG, his offense is I wouldn't even say his offense is a bonus, because look, coming like the first few games of the season, the funny thing is, the first few games of the season, he was the one that was trying to figure out his offensive, game. He was kind of like the outsider. And then ever since the Hawks game, the Pistons game, he's found it. He found his spots. He has good chemistry with Josh Hart, good chemistry with Cat, and you're seeing that start to form. And you're seeing OG Anunoby, even the middies. You talk about Mikel's mid-range game, but Anunoby too. And it's going in right now for OG Anunoby, and he is a great freaking player. Could Hart win most improved player? Wild Boy Trey says. It's doable. Josh Hart is having a career year right now. The numbers show it. And I'm not just saying it. The number, like, he's literally having a career year right now. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 57% from the field. And looking at his game logs, he's scored in double digits in every game. Every single game this season, Josh Hart has scored in double digits. I'm going to tweet that soon on the Knicks Nation page. But every single game, he has scored in double digits. And what was the one thing coming into the season that we were like, from 3, he's still shooting like 33% or something like that. But me personally, if he's open, I want Josh Hart to shoot it. And like I said earlier, he can kind of generate more threes for the Knicks if the Knicks use him in more pick and rolls. And tonight, you saw that. A lot of stuff at the free throw line. Josh Hart finding his open man, and he can, honestly. We already know him to be a rebounding merchant, but the assists, the assists have been up there, man. The assists have been up there, and he's another one. He's the glue, right? That's why that's why we think this Knicks team can be great. You have Hart playing like this, and the guys playing like this, and Brunson still, trying to figure it out with Mikel and figuring out within the offense, and we still don't even have Precious yet. So, hopefully Precious could come back and we could kind of hit our stride here. But Josh Hart is for sure having a career year. For sure. Talented Nate, I believe getting Mikel into rhythm. What's going on, Nate? I believe getting Mikel into rhythm in the beginning of the game, seeing him make shots, makes him want to play defense on a higher intensity. So we need him to get going from the start. Agree. Good observation. It seems like you get Mikel going early, engage him early, and we saw that tonight. We saw him hit a lot of his mid-range early, get him engaged early, and that carried over to his defense. What did I say at the end of the Indiana game? His offense carried over to his defense, and he was playing bad defensively. Tonight, we saw him, he blocked a Paul George shot. We saw him run fast breaks with Deuce McBride. We saw Cat find him down low. Good cutter, great mid-range shooter. His threes will come. So that's kind of offensively, Mikel has been good for the Knicks. It was the defense that we weren't seeing from him. And he, it's going to take him some time to adjust to everything, like everything. All right, right. But step in the right direction tonight, and hopefully this Knicks team can build off of this. Right back at it in less than 24 hours, which is the beauty of the NBA. Mike says Ja's been playing out of his mind, and I keep telling everyone OG has that quiet game. He just needs to cultivate it, and we need a deuce device that does the deuce sound for us. I know I got my soundboard right here. I gotta add more sounds. I want that. That's a good idea. I need the deuce sound, because hearing deuce in Philly, hearing let's go Knicks chants in Philly always is music to my ears. You know, we're comfortable beating Philly. You send them. They're 2-8 on the season, and looking at this Eastern Conference, right? Looking at this Eastern Conference, let me just go to the Eastern Conference NBA standings. You're 5-5 with 4 winnable home games coming up, right? Cleveland is still the thing about Cleveland. They play Philly tomorrow, I think, on a back-to-back. So you're probably not going to have them beat in that game. They'll probably be 13-0. Their run right now is absolutely incredible. It's crazy. We had a 13-point lead on Cleveland, but whatever. 5-5, right? So after everything that has gone down in the first 10% of the season, you're 500. And the schedule has kind of been wonky. And chemistry is still trying to build, still building. Still no Precious Achiuwa. And guys, Precious Achiuwa is a major piece for us off that bench. Campaign has been out. We saw him tonight. Then this is where you can start to actually pile on some wins. We went through the schedule earlier, but you have 4 winnable games in Madison Square Garden. And you got to take care of business at home. Run the table. Go 4-0. Please. And you're 9-5 heading out west, right? Give yourself some leeway just in case, out west, tough road trip, but run the table, go 4-0. But, everyone in the East is still trying to find themselves. I think the Heat had a tough loss tonight. The Bucks are 3-8. Philly's 2-8. Toronto's tanking. Quickly's been out. Hope for the best for Quickly. Orlando's been without Paolo, but they've won 3 in a row now. Boston's, Boston. So, win these next 4 games, and we'll see where we're at in the next week, right? So that's really that's doable for this Knicks team. And I brought up the schedule earlier. Back-to-back versus Chicago, versus Brooklyn again. Those back-to-backs against the same team are kind of weird. And I know they're hard to. It's hard to beat a team 2 times in a row, but it's Brooklyn. I know they play hard. They played Boston hard. They've played, who do they play? The Cleveland hard. They almost won in Cleveland. So just take care of business. All right, you're better than them. You're a better team. Chicago, you're a better team than them. Is Levine gonna play tomorrow for Chicago? I think Levine has been. Levine is probable for Wednesday's game against the Knicks due to a right abductor strain. So Levine is out. Lonzo Ball is probably going to be out, but it's a winnable game. You should be able to beat Chicago in Madison Square Garden. So take care of business at home, and this is why 5-5 was so important after 10 games. It's not really where you want it to be, right? But now the schedule is starting to be in your favor. A lot of travel in the first 10 games. Lots. So you can build off of this, and hopefully we can gain some momentum. Trey says Josh Hart is what you call a super role player. Look, heart and soul, right? Heart and soul. He didn't obtain that name for no reason. Warrior. Heart and soul of this Knicks team. Does it all. Assist, rebounding, push. The thing about Hart is, look, the Knicks in terms of pace are one of the slower teams in the NBA, and you saw tonight that they were pushing the ball. When Mikal would grab the rebound, the Knicks were pushing the pace. Josh Hart pushes the pace. So he's another one that pushes the pace for this Knicks team, and we saw tonight he was all over the court. Eric, it's so fun seeing how deadly the Knicks are in the open floor when Josh rebounds and pushes the floor. Yeah, it's super fun, and they need that. The Knicks need that. Let me just go through my notes and see if I missed anything. So we talked about Tom Thibodeau going 9-man rotation. Thank you, Tom Thibodeau. Don't know if you listen to us Knicks fan. Don't know if you got a call from the front office. Don't know if it's just because it's a back-to-back, but you went to a 9-man rotation. That's all we were asking for. I know Matt Ryan didn't really, he gave us a charge tonight. That's one positive. And he's going to hit his threes. He's a great three-point shooter. And the Knicks will get him open. So, Thibodeau, thank you for that. McBride looked amazing. Anunoby, 6 dunks tonight. 6 or 7 dunks tonight. Incredible game for Anunoby tonight. Just incredible player. I wrote, I hate the way Embiid plays basketball. He is such a flopper. That's what I wrote in my notes. It's always F Embiid at the end of the day. What he did, this was for Mitchell Robinson. What he did to Mitch, I would never forgive him for that. So it's good to get a win in Philly and build off of that. Yeah, I mean, great win. Mike says, I just wish Matt Ryan got some cleaner looks tonight, but they will come. His shot looks so smooth. Yeah, quick release from Matt Ryan. His shot does look smooth. First game action, right? I think someone came in here saying we're 2-0 with Matt Ryan in the lineup. And then they can get him open. He can run off of those curls and get open because you got to respect him. You got to respect it. Defensively, yeah, I mean, he's, needs some work, but you got to respect his shot. And that can open up lanes for Cat diving to the basket, Anunoby diving to the basket. So having that 3-point threat out there, giving an extra guy a breather, which is huge, is, a positive direction for this Knicks team, a positive step for Tom Thibodeau. Trying to see if anyone has spoken yet. You just got wink stopped. This is from Bacher Pages. Good follow on Twitter. OG and Cat is really a nasty 4-5 combo. Yeah, they had a great game tonight, man. They had a great game tonight. Bodega Cat. Bodega Cat, man. We back. I love it, man. I love when we win, right? It's amazing when this Knicks team obviously pulls together these wins, and we can obviously build off of this. So Dibs has spoken. Tom Thibodeau said he almost put Matt Ryan out there last game, but with no practices and him just getting here, he didn't want to rush it. Sounds like he could be factored in more going forward. Okay, Thibs. I see you. I love it. I like it. I really like it. I really like that. Okay. Sounds like Matt Ryan could be factored in more going forward. Like that, man. You need that extra body, need that extra shooter. You do. These guys were gassed in the fourth quarter. Gassed. And I'm sure he looked at the tape and he realized that. So let's do it. Big game for Chicago, man. Eric says, do you think when Mitch comes back, they start him and put Cat at the 4? Eric, that question, I go back and forth with it. Sometimes I think yes, even though let's say they don't start him, right? I still do think you're going to see lineups of Mitch and Cat out there. Or, if you do start them, then, obviously Cat has proven that he can play with a starting big man. He played with Rudy Gobert in Minnesota. And the one thing about Cat, right? He formed some chemistry with Gobert in terms of lobs. He got Rudy Gobert a lot of lob passes. And one thing Mitchell Robinson has been missing are those lobs. Knicks miss Mitchell Robinson a lot in terms of alley-hoops. And Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert formed the chemistry where Karl-Anthony Towns was throwing a lot of lobs to Rudy Gobert, and those two formed chemistry. So if that can the Knicks can replicate that with Mitchell Robinson and Karl-Anthony Towns, sign me up for that. But, we'll cross that bridge when Mitch gets here. I can't wait for him to come back, and that's where I think this Knicks team will really hit their stride. But great win. On to Chicago, back-to-back. Appreciate every single one of you in here. This was fun. Post-game again tomorrow. Keep building momentum. Keep up the W's. And let's go Knicks. I'm Anthony. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.